Welcome to Learn About Law. My name is Kevin O'Flaherty from O'Flaherty Law. Today we're going to talk about the state of Illinois child support law in 2020 as well as recent changes to Illinois child support law. First, let's talk about how child support is calculated in 2020. Back in 2017, Illinois switched over to the income shares model of child support, and this is the most recent major change in Illinois child support law. According to the income shares model, the court will use economic tables to calculate the total amount of child support that the parents collectively will have to dedicate towards their child. And these economic tables determine this amount based on the combined income of the parents, the cost of living where the parents live, and the number of children involved. Once you have the total amount of child support that the parents are collectively responsible for, each parent's share of that amount is going to be calculated based on the relative income of the parties. So if you are the child support obligor, the person who's paying the child support, the more you make relative to the recipient, the more you're likely to pay in child support. On the flip side, if you're the recipient and you make a lot of money relative to the payor, you're going to receive less in child support. So you basically come up with this pool of money that is going to go towards the child between the two parents, and then you divide that pool based on the relative incomes of the parents. This changes a little bit in shared parenting situations. A shared parenting situation occurs when each parent has the child for at least 146 overnights per year. In these situations, there's a 50% increase in the total amount that the parents have to dedicate towards the child, so that collective pool increases by 50%. However, the amount of time each parent spends with the child is factored in to the child support calculation. So in addition to relative income, the more time you spend with your child, the less you will be paying in child support if you are the obligor. Even so, this kind of can sometimes be a wash because the total amount is increased by 50%. So when you run the numbers, a shared parenting situation, it's difficult to tell off the top of your head whether it's going to be an increase or a decrease in child support. You really have to run the numbers and the amount of time you spend with the child to determine what the upshot will be of a shared parenting situation. Let's talk about when Illinois courts can deviate from the guidelines. So we've talked about the guidelines being using this economic table to determine how much child support the parents collectively have to pay towards the child, and then apportioning each share based on relative income, and then the shared parenting situation is stacked on top of that. But courts have discretion to deviate from those guidelines if they believe that deviation from the guidelines would be in the best interests of the child. And courts will look at several factors to determine whether deviation from the guidelines will be in the best interest of the child. That's the financial needs and resources of the child, the financial needs and resources of each parent, the standard of living the child would have enjoyed had the parents remained together, the physical and emotional condition of the child, and the child's educational needs. So based on all these factors and any other relevant facts, the courts will determine if deviating from the guidelines will be in the best interest of the child. Usually, almost always, courts will deviate upward, not downward. Modification of child support is a question we get a lot, and the question is, when can child support be modified? There's a couple different situations when child support can be modified. One is when modification is necessary to provide for the health care of the child. A second is if there's been a substantial change in circumstances for either the child or either parent since the last child support order that would lead to a significant change in the child support calculation according to the guidelines. And the third is if the child support guidelines deviate, the child support that's in place deviates from the guidelines by 20% or more. And so basically, even if there hasn't been a acute substantial change in circumstances, if there's a slow change and finally you're deviating from the guidelines by 20% or more, you can also go in and modify your child support. Now, you can't do this by self-help. You can't just pay less in child support. What you need to do is, if you want to modify child support, file a petition to modify child support with the court that has jurisdiction over your case, and there will be a hearing, at which point you'll show that, one, there's been a substantial change in circumstances or one of these other situation applies, and two, that according to the guidelines, based on your substantial change in circumstances, you should either be receiving more in child support if you're the recipient or paying less in child support if you are the obligor. So we have a lot more content at the article associated with this video at learn-about-law.com. We talk about child support for varying incomes, overtime and bonuses, child support and college expenses, child support if you have multiple families, how spousal maintenance payments affect child support. So you can check out the article, and then we link to videos that do a deep dive on each of the topics we've discussed in this video and all of those topics as well. So that's at learn-about-law.com. If you have any questions, you can leave them in the comment section below this article at learn-about-law.com or below the video on our YouTube station. If you need some help, please give us a call at 630-324-6666. That's 630-324-6666. We offer free consultations in many areas of law, and we have several geographic locations for your convenience. If you found this helpful, please subscribe to us on YouTube, SoundCloud, Apple Podcasts, or wherever you listen to your podcasts or watch your videos. Thank you so much for watching and listening.
Thanks so much for watching our video. If you have any questions, feel free to comment below. Click the subscribe button for new videos every week, and download and review us on iTunes. Visit learn-about-law.com for other legal-related articles and videos. Visit our business podcast and video blog, seizeyourbusiness.com, and visit Making Real Estate Fun for real estate videos and podcasts. Call us at 630-324-6666 for a free consultation.